Hello and welcome to the Record Club, brought to you by Record Store Day, the official charts and National Album Day, and proudly in association with Bowers and Wilkins. My name is Jess Irzat. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We are so excited to say that our guest is Dodie, talking all about her debut album, Build a Problem. If you're new to the Record Club, we're going to be spending the next half an hour talking to Dodie all about the brilliant new record, and we'll be putting your questions forward to her about the album to answer. So, if there is anything you would like to know about the record, whether it be about a certain song, the artwork, or a particular lyric that you've enjoyed, drop us a question in the comments section below, and I'll be asking a selection of them in the second half of our chat. On top of that, one lucky person who sends in a question today will be randomly selected to win a pair of Bowers and Wilkins PX7 over-ear noise-cancelling headphones. Such a wicked prize. Honestly, Dodie has been sounding beautiful in them. And also, I have the new record here in my hand. If you haven't already picked up a copy of your own, make sure to go to your local record store and get one of your own, because we thoroughly recommend it. And yeah, just do that once our chat with Dodie is over. So let's get straight into this week's Record Club and say a huge hello to Dodie, who joins me now. Dodie, how are we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We got there in the end,
Oh yeah, we had
couple
some
of little
technical
technicals.
issues. I had like a whole microphone interface set up. I thought I was going to be, so professional looking, and then I just basically just turned it all off because it doesn't work.
Honestly, we got I had a few little voice notes from you, and yeah, it was like you were like whispering in my ear.
So clear. Yeah, this is
Kind
the
of.
mic I use for vocals and everything, and yet.
Oh, what? Wait, out of interest, what kind of mic is it?
Oh, it's just a little audience mic. Sorry, audience interface and an Aston mic. Yeah, I don't actually know what it is. I can probably tell you.
I was going to say audio nerds here, and alas, we are using your laptop computer speaker
Computer
instead.
speakers.
We move.
Yeah.
Um, so each week on the Record Club, we do actually like to kick things off with a question from one of the amazing independent record stores in the UK. And this week's question is from Resident Music in Brighton. They are saying, "Hello from Brighton. We want to know where the best record shop you've ever been to is and why. Thanks, and a massive congrats on the new album, Dodie."
Wow, thank you. Gosh, I don't think I'm that cool because I haven't really been to many record shops. I should probably go into them more. I do remember the first time I went into a record shop. It was Rough Trade in East London, and I was just so overwhelmed. It was really cool. And I didn't even think I had a record player, so I just bought one for the novelty. But there was a photo booth, and I had a great time.
I literally was going to say, no one asked, but I think probably one of my favourites has to be that record store as well. I've been to see a number of performances in there as well. So I
Oh,
think
cool.
when record stores have an extra little performance space, I think
Mm.
that's always quite fun, especially when you get your record signed like afterwards.
Yeah, love it. I think the ideal combo is to go vintage clothes shopping and then head into a record store and use your I don't know. It just feels so cool. It's so
Literally
great.
describing Brick Lane down to a
Yeah,
T.
legit.
Yeah.
Why do I not live in East London?
Obviously, shout out to everyone at Resident Music. Thanks for your question. Yeah, of course, we're celebrating records here. And Dodie, your record is just, I've got to say, masterpiece. I love it.
Aw, thank you.
And number 3 in the charts. That's
Yeah.
that's amazing, just generally, but for an unsigned artist too. How does it feel?
Um. Yeah. I mean, incredible.
I mean, independent artist, sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, so cool. It's a really weird thing. I kind of want to go up to people in the street and be like, "Hey, Google official charts right now," and click on number 3 because it'll be me. But that's weird, and I probably shouldn't do that. It's amazing. It feels really good. I feel like I've only got 2 more days to really celebrate this, so I don't know what to do. Um, but yeah, it's just incredible. I mean, I can only thank everyone who bought a physical copy and listened to the album and stayed hyped and excited with me all this time because it was really them. So big thanks.
And well, just obviously us at the Record Club, like we know this, an album is such a huge project. So much goes into it, so much energy and time and creativity. And I know you've been making music for like, is it 10 years now? A decade? EPs, songs, obviously on your YouTube as well, where it all began. Why an album now?
I can't believe it has taken this long, but I think I'm finally ready. Wow, love it.
Showing it off, like showcasing it.
Yeah, I think it took all this time to grow up and to find my sound. And obviously I've done EPs, but I feel like it felt right to do like a chunk of projects, like little projects to kind of like grow and find my sound and figure out what I'm doing. And I'm glad I waited that long, because the album, I just love it completely. It's like the first piece of work that I love through and through, and I'm really proud of it. Like, yeah, and it feels incredible to really say that. And like, I don't know, if I got in a taxi and the guy was like, "What do you do?" I'd be like, "Dodie on Spotify, stream Feel the Problem," because I'm just so proud of it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I feel like, I feel like this is probably something that you've been asked over and over and you've had a lot of time to think about. But obviously, YouTubing was something that you started, and then music was something that I guess you were always doing, but now actually releasing music as an artist is, I guess, sort of not a new venture, but just a different world to kind of be stepping in. And I feel like perhaps some people who are entering the world of Dodie in with your music by buying the record or seeing the record and hearing the record might not know or fully appreciate the full extent of what you do, in terms of visuals as well, and perhaps how much goes into it. So like, for example, on a first listen, I'm like, oh, okay, like folky pop, like nice songs and stuff, and then you delve into it deep and you just uncover all of these things. And I think there was a moment for me, it has to be when the video for Full Stop. Obviously on the record it's like it's an interlude and it's some strings, but on the visuals it is it's after 40 kilos down, which is obviously such a big track on the record. I kind of want you to tell me, I know this is like I'm giving you commentary instead, but like I want to talk about how it must feel to straddle these two different worlds and how it feels for you, them finally coming together, and then also these a new audience finding you like this.
Yeah, I love it. I love having the ability to kind of like explore a song completely, like wholly, and like, yeah, I mean, like I feel like you can never stop exploring a song. Like it means so much and so many different things to different people, and its meaning changes for me as well. So I think I like having the opportunity to like choose a theme in that and make more art out of art is like so fun, like really really fun. And yeah, I think coming from online, like I've been so lucky in that I've had this sort of video platform for quite a while now, so I'm like a little experienced in it, and know how to make a good video. But also I have a lot of like filmmaking friends who I sort of we use each other now and again. We're like, oh wait, you make good music, I make great videos, we'll hook up. And that's been really really fulfilling and rewarding to like work together as well. It's just great. It's so good.
Has there been a surprising fan favorite on the record?
There's a moment which I completely love that I was so proud of when it happened. I remember landing it and like recording it and being like, heck yeah, I can't wait for people to hear this. And it has been received as like as much as I hoped it would. Like it's the end of a song called Sorry. We've like swirled through all of these keys and landed on this drone, which very nicely like sets up a song that is quite old that I redid called When. It's such a nice moment.
And also, I wanted to ask, so we're kind of talking about creating content out of content. So the song Before the Line, again, on a first listen, I was like, this it feels quite familiar. And then obviously a bit of digging into your YouTube comments, and someone has said that there's a lyric from every one of the songs in the main portion of the album. How do you go about constructing something like that? Did you literally, I guess, pull out your favorite lines from the other songs?
It was really cool actually, because I feel like because all of those elements like added to the production. So yeah, me and producer just went through each song and like found a little snippet that we could use. Like obviously there are moments when you're making a song where you're like, I think this could use like some kind of a bed or like some kind of a twinkle or something, or like a bridge between two sections. And yeah, we just found certain parts because obviously we know the song so well. We know what we can take and sort of pitch shift or change or cut up or whatever to add those producey elements that like give the song so much.
And well, I was watching the music video as well, of course, and I was just thinking the sort of storytelling, not just over the course of the song, but over the course of the album and this song, I guess, threading them together. I was like, oh, is she one day gonna step into, I don't know, acting or screenwriting or like a musical? I feel like a musical could be made
I
of
would
this
love
album.
to. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to make a musical. Yeah, I think it's funny how like I don't feel very musical theatery like in my voice at all, even though I try. And I think there's something really cool about sort of building my own musical. Like if I don't feel confident enough to fit in sort of West End Broadway type stuff, then I'll just make my own where I do feel like I fit in. Yeah, I would love that. I mean, there's nothing more fun than acting in a music video. It's what I've always dreamed of doing, so I kind of love it. Though I will say, pretty stressful when there's like the one for Sorry. We wanted the concept to be me crying, but in reverse, and it was kind of hard to just be like, all right, now have a meltdown. That was really hard to do timed.
And cry.
Yeah, and cry. Tears rolling now.
Yeah. But I mean, the acting and stuff really kind of blew me away in terms of, I guess, YouTubers might get pigeonholed, especially in terms of music. And I saw this in a lot of headlines about the album and when they're talking about it, and they say that you're the exception to the rule. But I feel like that's not really. I don't know. I feel like I kind of resent that a little bit. It was almost as though you weren't able to be talented in something else just because you were good at YouTubing, which you'd done since so long.
Yeah, it's an odd one. I guess it's just a massive like oversimplification of a platform. Like YouTube is so vast now. Like, and if you don't know that, then you're sort of living in the past. Catch up. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like YouTubers, like to call someone a YouTuber, like that can mean anything. You know, I follow YouTubers who are morticians and they talk about how to prepare corpses. Like, you know, and would you call them a YouTuber? I mean, no, I don't know. I follow so many people, and I've always been a musician. I just happen to have a platform on YouTube and chat about my life, as well as uploading the occasional song and cover and making music on there. I kind of like it as like a video scrapbook, and it's been really helpful for me to like have a place to put all my stuff, like be it a video or music. It's like helped me in building this album and this career. So I think people just don't people don't really understand, and that's okay. It's just maybe look a little more in depth, and maybe dip into that world, and it would help you to understand.
Yeah, for sure. So before we jump into people's questions, I can see that we've got some coming through. Of course, if you've got a question for Dodie, anything about the album, drop them in the comments section below. One of my favorite tunes on there, and I think it was quite a simple video, but I felt like it was really effective, was Four Tequilas Down. And I feel like it it was lyrically different, open in like a different way, and it kind of made you go, oh, like, okay. Talk to me about Four Tequilas Down.
Oh my god, you want the goss?
I want the tea. Give me the tea.
Yeah, I guess it was an interesting song to put out, and when I wrote it, I told myself I didn't have to release it, but I really liked it as a song, and I wanted to put it out, and also like I don't know, I think I'm kind of sick of like yeah, I guess not pretending, but like having this view of me as this like perfect angel, cute child person when I'm like, I'm an adult, like I'm 26 and I'm a woman and I've had sex and I've fucked it up like a bit, and that's a real experience, and I don't really want to shy away from that. I definitely don't want to fucking openly talk about it either because I don't know what I'm doing. But writing about it felt like a good place. So yeah, it's online, and that's that.
And it's a good song. So there we
Thank
go.
you.
People are enjoying it. And shall I tell you what else people are really enjoying? Right down to the cufflinks had to be the suit in the song as well.
Oh yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, Dodie in a suit." I'm like, if that's what you're taking away from the song, go ahead. Like that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah. Someone else mentioned as well, like Phoebe Bridgers and Dodie in a suit in one video would just like, I think, blow the internet.
I mean, I would die. I would die.
I'm manifesting it, hopefully one day, next time she's over or something. And also another song that I kind of wanted to ask you about before someone else got there first had to be I Kissed Someone, It Wasn't You. I just fell in love with me. I think I've watched that music video. If you look at the views, it's probably like doubled today just because I've watched it over and over again. It's just the way it's filmed. And then I saw that you'd done a video with Hazel Hayes. She's your friend, director.
She's actually in the living room right
Is
now.
she?
Yeah.
Hi Hazel, big fan of your work.
Oh.
But just I saw that you'd done a chat about it, and I was like, I'm not going to watch it just because, you know, like otherwise I'll spoil this chat for me. But I just like the parallels between I Kissed Someone and Human, like the kind of hopeful beginning. There's a sort of like sadness, I would say, and then the end is just so dark, and it's like I love the darkness, even though obviously it's kind of down, but also it's just I just think it's like almost like you taking control of your own kind of narrative the whole way through this, the whole exploration that I've had through this album, and that's just kind of like how I feel about it.
Wow, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. It's so funny when people kind of like pick out, I guess parallels or lyrical moments that are kind of the same. And like I didn't plan it; it just kind of happened, I guess, because it's my entire life. And here she is, everyone, Hazel Hayes.
Hi, are you okay?
Yeah. We're talking about.
Oh, I just got a text saying, "Get in here."
I was like, "Get in here." We're talking about you.
No,
Hi Hazel, how are you doing?
Lovely to meet you.
This is
Nice
Hazel
to meet
Hayes,
you. Welcome to the Record Club.
the director of I Kissed Someone, It Wasn't You, and
did do that.
Human as well. Yeah, Jess very kindly pulled on the parallels between those.
I know, but the songs felt very parallel. That's the first thing that we discussed when you came to me about it. I was like, these weirdly have very similar themes. Like, they're such different songs, but it's still a lonely girl searching for the thing she can't get.
Trying to fix her broken. Yeah.
I'm glad you picked up on that. That's cool.
But I feel like it's very like present as well. I feel like this is what a lot of people, especially in the city or something, might feel, but it's not necessarily, I guess the loneliness is there, but I feel like the darkness is like the more, I don't know, the strength in it, I feel.
Hazel's very good at kind of like, setting up a seemingly sweet thing, but also having this rumble of black.
But that's what your music does. And people keep also, it's weird, people keep comparing this album to my book, and I'm just like, I think we just I have a book, yeah, and a little book. Really I think we just make kind of similar art now, and I don't know if that's our influence on each other or our friendship or just we were similar before.
I actually had a meltdown about it quite recently.
Yeah.
We were like, oh god, is it because our trauma is so similar?
We both just have such terrible trauma, but we make this beautiful stuff out of it. So I think
the art is therapeutic, isn't it?
Yeah, so much. It's so cathartic. It's like if I didn't have that outlet, I don't even know. But Dodie's music is already that. It's like sometimes this very sweet pop, and she's got this like these haunting vocals, and it's so ethereal and beautiful, and like the plinky plonky sort of like uke or whatever. But then when you actually listen deeper into it, there's this rumble of darkness that's like, ooh, and gives you shivers. So yeah, it's super easy. It's super easy to make a video for Dodie. It's like, it's my jam. Anyway, I'm going to let you do your...
Thanks, Hazel.
Thanks, Hazel. Thanks for that input. She's like the Irish voice of God.
It wasn't an emergency.
No.
Bye.
Oh, one thing before we jump into the fan questions. There was one lyric as well. I had to look up whether you'd actually said it. Locked inside a slut this eve. I was like, oh, she used the slut word and the S word. It's not a swear word, but you know what I mean. Um, did you feel careful about throwing that one in there, or like, what did you feel about that?
I think so. I think I really wanted, and like to be honest, like it's kind of a clunky line, but I think I kind of like it because it's so bitter. I think in that song there's a lot of shame and yeah, like self-hate. Like there isn't a lot of self-compassion at all. She knows she's a fucking mess. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear here. I mean, we've just
What
said
happened?
slut. Oh god. Yeah, she knows she's a mess, and she doesn't really even like what she's doing, and she goes through this like sways of thinking it's fine, and I'm like allowed to do this, and then also, oh god, I'm so lonely. This was a complete mistake, and I'm such a slut, because I think that is like a very real feeling, although it shouldn't be true at all. There is like a kind of self-disgust when you're going out and sleeping around.
I have loads more questions, but of course, everyone at home has loads of questions too. So let's share. Emmy Shaw on Dodie's page is asking, which song on Build a Problem was the most challenging to complete?
Mm. So I mentioned Sorry, which I knew I wanted to start in a certain key and then take through other keys to get to a drone that could set up when. And I remember kind of like staring at this beast and being like, how do I get there? And so there are a few work throughs of like just trying to make it not sound forced. Like I didn't want it to be like, I'm taking you through keys. I wanted it to be like this swirling storm of music, which I eventually got there, and it was so rewarding. But yeah, definitely like finding those chords and then writing the string parts for them was just such a big task because I'd never done that before. Something so big like writing for a 13-piece section was just like a huge beast. So it took a while and a lot of shouting at my computer for not doing what I wanted it to do. But yeah, I managed to get there.
Christy Burdett on the Record Club's page asks, what was the hardest song lyrically to get right?
Oh, great question. Let me think. I think something like. Let me think. Yeah, I think it's hard sometimes when I want to be really dramatic, but I also don't want to be like twee or cheesy. I want it to feel like a diary entry. I think maybe I struggled with Before the Line because it's so easy to be dramatic when you're in a bad brain space. You just want to say all of the stops and even go darker and darker. So I think that took a little time to kind of make sure I was in the perfect place of saying what I wanted to say, but not like just yelling at my guitar.
Was Rainbow hard to get down in words? I know that's an older song, but it's one of those where it's like talking about something that's so, I guess, in the times, moving quite quickly within language.
Yeah, I seem to remember struggling a little. Again, I just didn't want it to be cheesy. I knew what I wanted to say. And I think it actually does have a kind of cheesiness to it, but I think it's quite sweet because it is meant to be a safe place, and quite musically. Yeah, I remember trying to get the line right of like, if you were in my shoes, like you'd immediately get it, and you'd even, I don't know, you'd be like, oh my god, and I couldn't figure out how to sum that up, but I got there in the end.
You did, yeah. I love that tune. It's beautiful. Rebecca Harris on Dodie's page is asking, or she says, hey Dodie, what's been your favourite part of releasing your album so far?
It's so obvious, but honestly, just people listening to it and loving it. And like, I haven't been able to play a gig or like meet anyone in person to like hear them love it, but reading tweets and comments and posts and stuff is enough for now. Hopefully I get to play a show. But yeah, it's really nice to like see people love it because I've been hiding it for so long. It's so nice to like let it out into the world and be like, oh my god, you're hearing the moments that I've heard for so long and that I love as well.
Tasha Goodwin on the Record Club's page is asking, what was Special Girl about? Was it to do with your personal self experiences?
Yes. Special Girl I wrote about, I guess it's kind of the theme of the album. It's about the way in which I was raised and built by my parents at the time, kind of crafted me into someone who looks for love in this kind of gross way of like, it's unhealthy. I look to be special. I want to like cure people and fix people because that was how I learned to love. And it is in a very jokey tone, and I'm kind of like owning it and being like, oh well, like guess I'm a hot mess. But yeah, I kind of like the idea that in a lot of these songs there's some denial, and some of them is playful and some of them is just straight up manic.
And Sarah Robson says on the Record Club's page, which artist, present or past, would be your dream to collaborate with?
Oh wow. At the moment, I would love to do something with like Eric Whitacre, or maybe Ben Folds, or someone who, yeah, I would love to like maybe write a song to have a huge backing for. I think like writing for those string parts was so fun, and I would love to work with someone on that.
I actually heard, I think, I can't remember, it must have been in some interview, but you were talking about the string parts and you're like, yeah, it was so easy. Everyone should just do that. I was like, what? Imagine if I took control of some like string orchestra. Was it not intimidating?
Honestly, yes, because I didn't. That's the thing. Like, I feel like there's like this. Probably I did it wrong, to be honest. Like, I'm sure that orchestra, the Parallax Orchestra, were like, this girl doesn't know what she's doing. I also tried to conduct. I like missed out a bunch of articulation, but I just think you shouldn't let all of that get to you, and like you should try and make music in whatever way you can. Like sometimes I write on one string, and that's not very professional, but it gets a song out and it sounds great. Like I scored these string parts by putting them down in MIDI first, which is essentially the same as like arranging vocal parts, and I think a lot of artists can do that. So if you can do that, then go for it. Why not?
And boom, get the string orchestra in.
Exactly.
Oh, well, Dodie, that's actually all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, this record is amazing. Filled a problem, obviously, go get it now from your local record shop. If you haven't already got yourself a copy, head down to your favourite or your local, whichever one. Yeah, Dodie's got it down there as well. We absolutely recommend ordering it as well if you can't get down to a local record store. I'm also excited to announce that the winner of this week's Bowers & Wilkins Wireless Headphones Prize is, we have got Rebecca Harris on Dodie's page.
Woo!
Please slide into the Record Club's DMs and we'll get a pair of these headphones to you. My name is Jess Izzat. Thank you very much, Dodie. Thank you so much, guys at home, for joining us and sending in your questions. Our next guest is going to be announced on the Record Club's social media very soon, so make sure you're following us. Plus, of course, all episodes are available to watch back on our YouTube channel. So I'll see you very soon. Dodie, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bye.